time. Okay, this is Donald. He's a clubhouse troll moron. Dreams that you had proven me God exists. Smokes cigarettes.
So all of that is explained,
Enjoy.
and it's got excellent
Let's go for
evidence.
about 30
So I
minutes.
think that it would be very hard to overturn the inflation and the median lambda CDM model. It would be very hard to overturn it. But I mean, there's always a chance, and it's certainly not complete. So there is that bit at the beginning, and we have a little bit of uncertainty at the end. We're not exactly sure how the heat death is going to go.
Yeah, no, I'm just speaking on research that I've done. There's multiple theories out there about a stagnant universe that always was. Yeah, never experienced the Big Bang. Yeah, I mean, hey, if you believe so, that's cool. But
no, I can demonstrate it. So because of relativity, the curvature of space-time, a universe cannot be static. It can only be either expanding or contracting. It cannot be static. It's impossible because of the curvature of space-time.
Okay, cool. No, that's not what I was bringing. I wasn't bringing it up to argue it, but I was just bringing it up to pose it as a fact.
It's not fact. It's the opposite of fact.
No, not the theory itself. The fact that there is other theories.
Oh, sure, there's other theories, but they don't make nearly as many accurate predictions as inflation and Big Bang, CDM. Cold dark matter. Oh, love that shit. That's the thing that I studied cold dark matter for 10 years. You have no idea how hard it is to study something you cannot detect.
What do you think it is?
Matter.
I mean, then why doesn't it have an effect on light?
Because it doesn't interact with the electromagnetic pulse.
So it can't be matter because matter has that characteristic.
But we understand that it does interact with gravity, and only matter interacts with gravity. Well, matter and energy, but matter is made of energy.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
Yeah. So only matter interacts with gravity, and dark matter interacts with gravity, so we understand that it has to be matter. It doesn't have the same properties as baryons, so we have to figure out a way of detecting them that isn't necessarily baryonic based, which is very difficult considering we have access to baryon.
Yeah, it's interesting enough. I don't think it's matter. It's probably to me, probably information. That's just my guess at it.
It can't be information. Information doesn't. Okay, so information is physical, and it has causal effects on the quantum scale, but the effects are washed out with mass. Anytime you get a mass above the what is it? 154 times the weight of carbon. I think 154 times the weight of carbon. All of the quantum effects get washed out with mass. So we understand that dark matter is physical. It's matter, because we have this thing called the Bullet Galaxy. I don't remember what the other one. There's two galaxies that have already collided, and they have moved through each other. This is how collisions in galaxies work. They take millions of years. They slowly interact with each other. They move through each other, and then they fall back into each other, and then they interact into spiral galaxies. So these have already made the first pass through, and all of the dark matter from both galaxies is in the center of the galaxies. We can measure this because of gravitational lensing, and we can plot it. So what we see is that all of the dark matter is clumped in between the galaxies, which is the thing that is making them tied together. All of 6 times the mass of what is moving around is between them, attracting them gravitation. So the dark matter does produce a gravity well. We understand this very well, and it produces a rather large gravity. 6 times the mass of baryons. Baryons are what you're made of. Everything that you can touch is made. Welcome back, Reuters. And The other people who are new to the stage, thank you for coming up. I appreciate it. Can't read your name because my glasses broke. I'm very sad. I cried. I can't read names. So welcome to the room, the new person. Thank you for coming by. Death hit me up. Thank you for coming by. So if anybody wants to have a conversation, there's new people on stage and in the audience. Feel free to come on stage.
Talk, idiots. Sorry, just kidding.
Welcome to the stage. I'm sorry, I can't read you. Starts with W.
We have watchdominion.com, which sounds like a gay S&M website. We have John here, John Kitover, and then we have Major Israel Claverics, which is another gay porn name. Fareda Rounta. It's just a bunch of unpronounceable bullshit.
You can say my
unfucking pronounceable bullshit.
Add the extra.
Well, I appreciate you coming by.
Oh, sorry. Say it again. Sorry, I was talking over you.
Bravo. Continue.
Royvis does not. I do not share Royvis's opinion. It's just
Fucking coffee over here, Johnny Diaz. Like, what are you, some like Cuban pimp or something? Like, go fuck yourself. And we got MacGyver Ipswich. Look at this fucking guy. Can't even. Is that really a statue in the world? Who fucking made that? And then Hermes is like he's like a Mexican guy. You know,
Mexican American. He likes
Mexican American.
Yeah, he likes to play a. What is that? Cheech and Chong.
He likes Cheech and Chong, even though. Wait, Chong is not Mexican, though, right? Just Cheech.
No, I don't think he's Mexican.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Donald, when you get a chance, check out the link that I posted in the chat. It's interesting. It's
Is it
pretty interesting.
Dominion.com? Is that what it is? Oh no, it's not. There is no dark matter. Instead, information has mass. This is to say, well, information is physical. Having mass means having energy. I'm not sure if information has energy or not because it's simply just the polarity of the electron. This is not a peer-reviewed paper. I'd like to read the source material if you got it. We got Neil deGrasse Tyson's face on that. Dark matter, dark gravity. Never even heard of that.
Donald, do you think that we, like, in a sense, are afraid of the dead coming back to haunt us? In the sense that, like, we can't say something is true. We have to say it's absolutely true. And so we've added a nail to the coffin. Like, okay, if we say it's absolutely true, this corpse won't, reinvigorate and break out of the coffin and haunt us. So maybe we need absolute confirmed certitude. And then, more nails on the coffin. Like, this fucking idea won't come back to haunt us. Is that what we're doing? Like in a weird, primitive kind of way?
I think that may have been the source of it and is sort of mutated into something else that is more conformed to modern day. But yeah, I think you're right.
So I was working on a project and it was like confirmed final version. I was like, why can't you just say the final version? Why do you're gonna have to go, it's confirmed and like there's another signing off on it. It's the dead coming. We're afraid of the fucking undead is what it is.
Well, I mean, that's in the Bible too. The 500 saints of old, the earthquake, and them coming out of the graves and walking through the city, talking to folks.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of different religions have zombies, like the what is it? The voodoo who have the drug that turns you in, like a scopolamine or whatever.
Oh, that shit they like spray on you in Colombia to make you like empty out your ATM account.
Yeah, that shit's real, man. That shit is real.
It's called Dragon's Breath.
Yeah, something like that. Something crazy like this scopolamine. It just puts you in a very suggestible state. Who is that? I don't know who that was. So, Coffee, if you want to find the source material for that article, I'd be happy to read it. I've been looking into that dark matter stuff. It seems to be, or dark gravity stuff. It seems to be utterly and completely hypothetical with no support whatsoever.
Yeah, he has a published research paper that I'm looking for. I'm trying to find it. Once I find it, I'm going to post it in the chat. I got you.
All right, try Google Scholar. It might be faster. They got millions and millions of peer-reviewed data. That's what I use as my sources. I don't use Google. I use Google.
Donald.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Did you eat today?
I haven't. No.
I have a feeling.
I haven't slept either. I haven't slept in 2 days, 2.5 days.
Hey, you killed it in a flat Earth thing.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. They told me
Did you destroy the flat earthers, Donald?
Oh, geez, every word they said, every word that came out of their mouth that was wrong, I destroyed. Oh, no.
Because it's like, Lionel down there, right? The flat earther. He's actually recording this room so he can put it on his YouTube channel.
Oh, shit, I knew that. I fucking forgot to unpause. I wasn't recording this. Oh, damn. That sucks. Somebody asked me to pause it and I forgot to unpause it when they left. I didn't get any of that. I am pissed.
Hermes, reenact.
No, Lionel, feel free to record. I don't care, but I would love for you to come on stage and have a conversation.
I'm on stage.
Hey, Lionel, what's up?
First things first. I don't record shit. Hermes, you lying piece of shit.
Did you call me a liar?
You know you're telling the truth, Lenny.
I'm talking about Hermes. He said
Oh, my bad.
record shit. No, I don't record shit, bro.
Lionel, I loved being in your room the other day. It was great.
It's always a good time, Donald. We're trying to tell people we're not that bad as people be trying to make it us out.
Yeah,
But he did
if you want, hey, Lionel, will you promise not to randomly in my room if I make you moderator?
Nah, bro, I'm pretty chill, man. You know.
All right.
Yeah,
So
you
when I
me, though.
I'm gonna make you a moderator so you can pin your house at the top.
I got you. Let me go find out when I got back.
Yeah, his house is called Flat Earth Gang. It's pretty cool. I like his rooms. I've been there a couple of times, and I spent like, I don't know, 4 hours there one night. It was fun. They're a cool gang over there. Highly recommend you go hang out with them.
You gotta be kidding me, right?
No, it was fun.
Many other scientists, John, we all go in there and we do battle with them, but they never treat us nice.
I was treated very fairly. They almost never even muted me. I think I got muted a couple of times, and I think it may have been warranted when they did.
Wait, so Hermes, I keep hearing that 10 goes into flat earther rooms to like battle flat earthers, but like he's kind of like dishonest about a lot of other things, right? Like how can he be trusted? Like he just doesn't seem like the kind of person who would. He seems like the kind of person who would believe in a flat earth. Is what I'm trying to say. I think he's just trying to go in and get this like troll supply, and so I think he's just getting, you know what I'm saying? Like he's getting something out of it. You know, like driving Donald at the wall, or like atheists that take themselves too seriously. And I think the flat earthers too. It's like if he challenges them, they start freaking out, and he gets that energy from it. I don't think he's trying to be consistent with like a worldview or something. Oh, so he just likes things for attention.
I'll tell you the problem because I've been hanging around with Tim for quite a while. Tim's problem is that he is very religious. So his religion and Christianity really keeps him from accepting other scientific ideas. He's got not everything, but some.
Want to be religious again?
Hold on. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you're right. If you've noticed, like when we start talking about time dilation or the multiverse theory or the Big Bang or other things like that, sometimes he agrees and sometimes he doesn't. But it's the religion. It's because he's.
Yeah, you're stupid. All you fucking goys are stupid, you Gentiles.
Man.
That's the Somali Hebrew Israelite.
Stupid.
Hey guys, do me a favor. Please don't ever associate Tim with flat earthers. He is not one of us. That's one of y'all people. Please do not.
Okay, so this website that you gave me.
Why are you stupid, Donald? Do you have a degree or you just know you're self-taught? I forgot.
I
Why
don't
are
know.
people so stupid?
I'm not a doctor.
Hey, bad.
But I study exclusively peer review and textbook.
I know, that's why you're so stupid.
Yeah, so Ben, just so you know, Donald, Ben is a Somali Hebrew Israelite.
Okay. So this is not a peer reviewed website here. This is not a credible source. I don't accept anything from this source. This AIP Advances, AIP Publishing, and Air Publishing, that is not a peer reviewed source. I apologize. I'm sorry, I will not accept that.
You're stupid. You believe in quantized singularity, bro. You're so stupid.
The singularity is mathematical only. So I don't believe in that as an objective reality. I don't believe in
It's the measurements. What do you mean not objective?
It's mathematical. It's the breakdown of math. It's the breakdown of mathematical equations.
Yeah, it's a measurement breakdown.
No, it's infinity. It's when everything goes to infinity.
Yeah, exactly. That's the measurement.
Infinity is not a measurement of anything except for infinity.
Well, it's not talking about infinity, right? It's talking about a graph that has an infinitesimal.
No, it's talking about the breakdown of our understanding.
Dude, stop. You don't know what you're talking about. You're stupid.
Ben has no friends.
I'm very good at this. I've been doing this for a very long time.
No, you're a dumbass on Clubhouse like the rest of the 9,000 dumbasses on this app.
Well, sure. But I've
I'm
read
gonna go to the
fewer
intro
papers than they have.
Donald, you don't believe the Earth is flat, right?
No, it can't be. I can.
Here we go again.
If the Earth was flat,
Because
everything I know about
the
physics-
fact.
So, go ahead, Hermes.
I was just going to mention real quick that since Lionel is now a mod, everyone on Clubhouse is going to think that you're a flat earther.
Well, I just needed him to pin his thing at the top. That's
Hey,
what
look,
made
where
it.
do I find the link, though, bro? I'm looking for it. Where do I find this?
There's a share button somewhere in your house, like where you do the settings for your house. There's a share.
Oh, okay, cool. I got you.
That's the only
Yeah,
thing.
just from
But I don't care.
Yeah,
if
just
it's
from-
live. Go ahead. Go ahead. Whoever's talking, go ahead.
Well, I just want to say and make it clear that all flat earthers have a mental illness. That's why they believe the Earth is flat, Doc.
I don't think that's true. The way that I understand flat Earth is that it's a conspiracy theory, and some people in the population of humans are more prone to accept conspiracy theories with little or no evidence, and that's okay. It's okay for that to happen.
That's a form of mental illness.
It's not
Like,
though. It's
In
not.
the Venn diagram of like weird beliefs, right? Like flat earthers and extremely religious people sort of intersect quite nicely, right?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Religious flirts, like 90% of flirts are religious flirts.
Yeah.
There's a couple of fizzy flirts, but they're not as prevalent. That's like
Well,
physics.
Why were religious people today?
But so, like, the conspiracies arise.
How do you explain that? If you guys are so smart, right? You're so atheist. I agree with you. But why are
Conspiracies
people
arise.
so fucking stupid today? It just almost wants to make me go back to religion. I'm just on a rant now. I can't take it.
It's not that they're stupid. It's just that they were convinced of something with little or no evidence, and they believe it very
No, I
deeply.
said that why are today people dumber than they were? Like the early Catholics were much more smarter, much more learned in physics,
No, they weren't.
astronomy,
No,
mathematics.
they weren't. They
They
ignored science just as. Hang on. They ignored science just as much.
It is a true fact, Donald. It is a true. The early Catholic Church, like Galileo Galilei, or the people that were way earlier, Aristotle,
People that the Catholic
they
Church
were much
prosecuted.
smarter. They were much smarter than the people today in astronomy,
I have to ask
and everything.
I have to
That's a lot of shit though. Nowadays
nowadays your phone becomes your brain. So it's like
Exactly. That just makes it even worse.
Would
That makes it
it
even worse.
be okay if I asked one question of the guy who said that they were smart in the past? How many
Yes.
international space stations did they fly?
That has nothing to do with anything I said.
Yes, it does. Our technology.
How many antibiotics did they develop back then?
Right? How many brain
It
surgeries
has
were successful?
nothing to do with how wise you were, because if that were the case,
So Ben is just here to troll.
It's not about wise. Wise is irrelevant.
in Africa, and he would be able to develop a spaceship. It's so
Ben,
stupid. Your argument's retarded. It doesn't make any sense.
People have been
No,
just as
there's nothing to
intelligent
do with
in
that.
the past as they are in the present. The only difference is that we have way more tools and information now.
Yes. That.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the
The-
case.
we-
That's
The
case.
last major evolutionary advance in the human brain happened about 40,000 years ago during the last glacial
Anyways, why are you guys so fucking retarded, bro? It just makes me want to go back to
I don't like you. I don't like you.
the norm.
Listen, I don't like that word on my stage. I'd really rather you use any other word besides that word on my stage, please. It's very, very annoying.
Okay,
I don't like it.
Mentally challenged.
Hey, Donald.
No, use a different word besides mental anything. Yes,
Donald.
Dumbass.
He's just here to be chaotic evil, right? So like,
That's okay. I've asked like 5 times. Nobody else wants to talk. If anybody else wants to talk, please.
all right, fair enough.
Yeah, so why are they fucking dumb? I don't understand. Like, do you want people to be more atheists? Show them
No,
your
I don't.
fucking. You have
I
a
don't.
brain.
I don't. I do this mostly for the science stuff because I found out a long time ago that the
Well, science, you're not even good at that. You're as an atheist, you're not even good at science.
that.
So why would it be the case? Why would anyone want to be an atheist if they want? Look, if you wanted to be a scientist, I would be a fucking Catholic.
No, would you let me finish my sentence, please? Because there was more to it. I wasn't finished. I was in the middle of a sentence. So I found out a long time ago that the anti-evolution people and the anti-science people are extremely religious, and so the way to get to talk to them about the evolution and stuff is to try and talk to them about God, because every theist hates to talk about their God, so they deflect to evolution, the beginning of the universe, stuff like that. Abiogenesis, the gaps.
But don't you think, like, in ignoring a God, you admit that there is a God, or saying that you don't believe in a God?
You admit that you have no idea what the thing is, and you can't explain it, and you don't know what to do when someone asks you to define your God.
Well, it's obvious that there's a reducible complexity.
Something to go against it, right?
Hang on. Two people are talking. I can only hear one at a time. Otherwise, it's just garble.
It's called the reducible complexity, right? In evolution.
That doesn't exist. So the other guy. Hang on. That doesn't exist. Hang on. That doesn't exist. The other guy. What did you say?
Well, you're not answering the question.
No. The other guy. What did you say?
You didn't hear me, bro.
No. I heard you.
You didn't hear me.
I know all about it. The other guy. The other guy.
How do you answer my question?
What is your
How do you
name?
answer my question? How do you answer my
I
question?
did answer your question. It doesn't exist. It's fiction.
Fine tuning. No, what if you're missing a little bit? How do you explain that if you're missing one little part in a organ, you can't evolve? You can't live. You won't be able to live.
Evolution does not work on individuals. Because evolution does not work on individuals. You misunderstand the theory. You misunderstand.
It has nothing to do with it.
Yes, it works on populations. It does not work on individuals.
Yeah, work on a whole entire population. So what? You still wouldn't be able to make a functioning human being. No matter how you put it.
No. See, what you're doing is you're making an assumption that's unwarranted. What you're assuming is that there was some perfect genome in the past that we're mutating away from. That is not the case.
I never said that.
Yes, but that's the assumption you're making in this argument.
Yeah, how is that the case?
Well, because you're saying that every mutation breaks us down, and if you run that into the past, it goes to a perfect genome that has no mutations. It's inference.
No, I'm saying that if you take one little part of an organ, right, and you need all of them simultaneously to live, but if you take only one out of one of the organs,
so what is the mechanism? What is the biological mechanism that would remove that organ?
That would remove it? I don't think there's anything that would enforce it.
Yeah, there is a mechanism that would remove that organ. What is it called?
That would remove it. I don't know what you're talking about.
There is a process that we can quantify and describe that would remove that organ. What is it called?
I still don't know what you're talking about.
Mutation. So genetic mutation. Do you accept that genes mutate?
Only under certain circumstances, and then the environment.
So when do they mutate during reproduction?
Do they need to take during reproduction?
No. Do they mutate during reproduction?
So you mean when they're an egg, the sperm is an egg?
Recombination is do mutations happen during recombination?
Under certain environmental pressures.
Okay, so that's evolution. That's all you need. That you accept evolution right there, and I don't need anything else. That is evolution.
No, I said if it was to be possible. If it was
you
possible.
accept evolution. You accept evolution. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, I do not accept evolution.
So evolution is the change of allele frequency in a population over generations. If mutation happens at the point of reproduction, you accept evolution. If you can accept that mutations happen at the point of reproduction, you can accept evolution.
Yeah, I said I don't accept that, right? I said
No. You agreed with me. You agreed with me about that. You agreed with me that under certain circumstances, during reproduction, mutations happen. That right there is all you need.
Environmental pressures.
Yeah, that's all you need for evolution.
So what environmental pressures produces liver?
Well, it's a slow process that starts with single-cell organisms, and then they move to multi-cell
The answer is
organisms.
you don't know. You have no basis.
No, I'm explaining it to you. I'm explaining. You are interrupting. Stop. Dude, you are interrupting the answer to the question you asked. Please don't do that. Allow me to ask, sir. If you ask me a question, please allow me to finish. Would that be okay? So it starts with single-cell organisms. And then it moves on to multicellular organisms. And then they diversify. Will you let me finish? They diversify. And as they diversify, they get more and more complex. Will you let me finish? As they diversify, they get more and more complex, and they get less and less like each other and more specialized for a particular niche in the environment, so that others can fill other niches, and then that forms more and more diversity, and that is evolution through mutation at reproduction.
Why?
That's all you need is mutation at reproduction.
Yeah, why?
Because that's evolution. That's how we describe evolution.
No, how are you gonna get from nothing to single cellular organism? Right? How are you gonna do that?
It's not nothing. We never had nothing.
I'm gonna bend your mama over.
Okay, abiogenesis. Yeah, you did.
My mom is 91 years old. Are you sure about that?
Okay, Donald. So you need to explain abiogenesis. How you get from nothing.
Sure.
To
Okay. So it starts with biochemosynthesis. After you have chemosynthesis, which we understand very well. So these are amino acids that are made willy-nilly in atmospheres, in space, in between galaxies, in between stars, in between galaxies. We measure these things everywhere. We find them everywhere. So they're made in space willy-nilly. And
amino acids? Yeah, in order for that to happen, the probability would be 0.0 to the power of 100 to the power of minus 0.00000.
No, you are
yes.
wrong. No, you're wrong. So let me explain.
Let
me explain why you are wrong. So you are wrong because amino acids are made willy-nilly in the atmospheres of all planets, and in the vacuum of space in between planets, and in the vacuum of space between stars, and in the vacuum of space between galaxies. It is made everywhere. So it's very easy to make these things. So the probability is not blah, 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 blah. It's 1. The probability is 1. Because this stuff has been being made. Stop. This stuff has been being made since the first fusion happened. Series 3 stars fused, amino acids started being made.
Bro, you lost.
No, I explained it exactly.
You lost.
You don't get to just proclaim that I lost. and be correct. You are evil. Would you like me to get you a paper? I could probably find one.
Bro, he lost.
I did not. What makes you think that I lost? What did I do that made me lose?
Yeah, bend over, lost.
Your mom gay.
How have you lost a proper rebuttal?
Your mom gay.
See, are you insulting now? Because if you insult, you lose completely. So are you doing that?
Yeah, bend over, he lost.
Shut up, Hermes. You little pussy.
See, insult, you lose.
Well,
Why do I have a balloon on my fucking PTR?
Because you've been on Clubhouse for 1 year, and today's your 1 year anniversary.
Because it's your birthday. Happy birthday!
Congratulations, buddy.
I've been on Clubhouse since iPhones and invites.
It's your birthday. I must spend some money.
Yo, Donald, all the research I just did told me AIP is peer reviewed.
Hey, Donald, this is John. I'd like to interject briefly, if I may. I've been listening to Donald for quite a while now, and it's taken me a while to come to this conclusion. But I believe that Donald may be one of the most intelligent brains on planet Earth, and we have to recognize his special genius as being quite possibly one of the most brilliant scientific minds maybe ever in human history. I've read Copernicus and Spinoza and all the greats, but I think Donald is an unrecognized prodigy, a savant. And Donald, I take my hat off to you and I salute you, sir. You are an academic and an intellectual of the highest magnitude and order. So bravo, Donald. You have convinced me that God is dead and does not exist. Thank you, Donald, for freeing me from my own mental health crises. You, sir, are a genius.
Anyways, now that we have that settled.
This is not settled. I've got a paper right here that demonstrates that everything is.
Oh, shut up. Shut up.
Let me get the link. It's behind.
Give me your link to your stupid pseudoscientific articles.
It is not pseudoscience.
I am self-sufficient, Donald. You know what self-sufficient means? It means I am perfected in your self-sufficiency.
So there's the link that demonstrates that everything I said is correct.
Demonstrates that you can lick my tushy hole with my ass.
See, insults just mean you lose. Peer-reviewed paper
Does
said
it?
that I don't.
Donald, why did you think AIP was in peer review, though?
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out more because I'm
trying to make sure you don't know something. My bad, y'all. I'm trying to make sure you don't. You probably could put me on to something. That's what I'm trying to ask you. So when you get the chance, do the research. Let me know.
1 second, please. So my glass is broken. I'm wearing the wrong kind of glasses, so it's hard for me to read.
Oh, pussy boo-hoo.
So my new glasses are coming soon, and I'll check it out. I promise.
Yeah, no, it's cool, Donald. Just take your time. It's cool. Just let me know.
Until then, I'll accept what you're saying that it is peer reviewed.
Will you guys see this fucking pussy named Donald? You're fucking pussy. Damn, someone playing Pokemon in the background.
So is there anybody
I shut your mouth, you fucking pussy. Yes, pussy.
on stage or in the audience who wants to
Pussy.
I got a question, bro.
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so let me ask you this. What conspiracies do you think are true?
Well, of course, people try to hide shit. So there are conspiracies that have evidence. So if the conspiracy is actual evidence that. Well, okay, like the shit that happened with Hillary's emails, that was a conspiracy that had evidence.
All right, so because a bunch of shit came out of that, right? So
yeah, sure, I know.
That's where the Pizzagate shit came from. So you think Pizzagate is real as well?
Well, the basement is under question. I don't know whether or not the basement exists because I've heard contradictory reports and I've never been there.
So it's not just about that basement. It's about the whole complex has like this connected underground thing, right?
I mean, if there's nothing at all that goes underground, then the complex cannot be there.
Oh no! No, I'm talking about all 3 fucking like, because it's not just a pizza shop standalone, right? So there's like 3 things connected. You know
So
I'm
what I
saying?
could do, what I could do is I could go out there with a ground penetrating radar and scan the area and see if there's anything under the ground, and then I would know for sure.
Sure. Did you know that like all of DC has underground tunnels and shit, like all over the place? Like that's not.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean that there's one there, and it doesn't mean that if there is one there that they're using it.
So when they were talking about, you know, the shit that was going on there, you think what?
Well, I don't know. So, do you have like a blueprint of the building that shows it has a basement? Because that would be very convincing.
No, I don't have a blueprint, but you don't think people who were molested there who said no, this happened to me there?
I don't know.
Molest?
I'm pretty sure that girls were molested. Where it happened is up in the air, and it's kind of irrelevant. The girls were molested.
And by people, very powerful people in Washington, like you believe all that?
Well, the list came out. I believe the list.
Okay. All right. So you think Pizzagate is real? I got you, bro.
No, I never said that. I said I don't know about Pizzagate because I don't know if that basement exists or not. If you could demonstrate that the basement existed with blueprints or ground penetrating radar, I would accept that there is a basement. But that doesn't change the fact that the girls were raped somewhere. It doesn't matter where they were raped.
So girls and boys. It wasn't just girls.
Okay, girls and boys.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. All right, I'm with it. All right, so you're open to the idea that might be accurate. All right, let me see. Do you think 2 planes could bring down 3 buildings?
I think that a 110-story building times 2 can take out 2 buildings.
No, it's 3 buildings.
Yeah, I just corrected myself.
Yeah, I got you. So wait a minute. No, I'm saying, but you think the plane brought down the building?
I have looked at the math and the numbers, and yes, the planes brought down the building.
So have you know there's an organization called Engineers and Architects for 9/11 Truth who showed a map and it says that can't happen, that plane cannot bring down that building?
At what temperature does jet fuel burn?
That is a true line.
So the temperature at which jet fuel melts,
burn. What temperature does it burn? What is its ignition temperature?
Right. So this is the thing. That's not even the issue.
It is the issue that I have an issue with. This is the problem.
So whether or not the jet fuel can actually weaken the steel, because they don't have to burn it, they can weaken it, right? Whether or not the jet fuel can weaken the steel, right? We ain't even got to go there. But the simple fact
because listen, I'll tell you why we have to go there.
I can't finish my statement.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. For the simple fact that jet fuel, like, we don't even have to go there, but for the simple fact that the buildings collapsed the way that they did, right? At the speed that they did,
collapse.
Right? At the speed that they did goes against fucking physics. The energy to collapse those buildings was not there. It was dissipated.
That's just not true. I've done the math. Have you done the math? I've done the math.
No, he's gonna keep lying just so that you know.
So listen. I am kind of an expert in this field. I am a blacksmith. I melt metal for fun, just because I like it. So I understand how the heat can anneal metal at less than 400 degrees. So what is the jet fuel burn at? What temperature does the jet fuel burn at?
I think the jet fuel goes to maybe somewhere between 1800 and 22.
Okay, so the melting point of iron and steel, the melting point of steel is 2,000 degrees. If it burns at 2,200 degrees, that is above the melting point of the steel.
So let me ask you this.
Would melt.
So let me ask you this. If you put, let's say you get a steel beam, you put some, you douse it with some jet fuel, and you set it.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying that steel is going to melt?
Yes. Do you know how much jet fuel there was? It was a fresh plane that had just been fully fueled. It was a full 7.
So
yeah, they planned it that way.
What was that exploded on the outside of the building?
That was the jet fuel exploding.
Right. So if that's the jet fuel on the outside of the building, how the
No,
fuck did it get to the car?
no. So
Yes.
no. While the jet fuel was burning all around the plane, the tanks that hold the jet fuel, which still had some in it, were heating up. And as they heated up, the jet fuel ignited, and it was in a container. It's called a BLEVE. Look it up. It's an acronym. Boiling liquid. It's a boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion. So it's a BLEVE. So this jet fuel this jet fuel heated up to the ignition point inside the tanks, and because it was a confined area, it exploded like a bomb. And there was one in each
That's
wing.
right, Lagner. We're going to keep you honest in here.
Yo, did you say it exploded
I
like
have
a bomb?
deeply researched this one. I know exactly how both collapsed. They collapsed in different ways. The one of them collapsed because the jet landed very near the center of the building, and it melted the center shaft of the elevators. So the shafts of the elevators had much of the supports for the entire building on it, and this is like on floor 50 or 70, I don't remember. So we're talking like 40 or 60 stories of buildings above, right? So as this jet fuel burns, and then there's the explosion, they warp. And as soon as they warp, that building is doomed to collapse, just like it was if it were being demolished. This is just physics. So the entire top half of the building fell onto the bottom half of the building, and they slid down the supports straight down because the bottom supports were still hardened. So they didn't bend. It was just the ones near where the fire was, like probably 3 or 4 stories in each direction, maybe a little higher on the top because heat rises more. So
how do you explain? There's a couple of things I got questions about. How do you explain the firefighters who were there saying that they heard explosions all throughout the building?
Well, there's
like bombs. They said they heard bombs.
I can explain it. I'll explain it. Let me explain it. Because there are oxygen tanks on there because they have those little things that fall out of the ceiling and you can breathe. That's pure oxygen. So those are held in tanks. Each one of those tanks explode.
No, they said they heard bombs going off on different floors.
Yes, they would. It would reverberate through the building like you wouldn't believe. It would on the bottom floor and the top floor. It would sound exactly. Listen. On the bottom floor and the top floor, it would sound exactly the same as if you were next to it. It would move through the ventilation systems.
That's not what
the sound waves.
That's not what they reported. They reported hearing bombs and seeing bombs.
He's saying it would sound like a bomb. He's saying that
they didn't say see. They never said saw bomb. That's a lie. You've been lied to. They never ever. I have read the papers very carefully. I read them very carefully. They never said they saw a bomb. They said they heard things that sounded like stop. I'm answering. They heard things. They said they heard things that sounded like bombs. Now, when those oxygen tanks explode, they would sound exactly like bombs. Because they are bombs.
You see the interview.
If they said it, then provide us a link to where we can find it online. Them saying it. It's that simple. Go ahead and provide a link if I'm saying it.
Hold on, I'm driving right now. Give me a second. Still.
Remember and do it later. I'll accept it later. No problem.
Right.
But until then, don't use that reference.
So here, let me ask you this. You think the 9/11 report? You think that was accurate and true?
I think it was as accurate as they could get it, yes, because they admitted they did shit wrong. You wouldn't admit that you did shit wrong if you're trying to hide that you did something wrong.
So why is it that, some of those, the pictures and the video of the aftermath, you saw those steel beams, they were at a 45-degree angle. Well, how did that happen?
They sheared. Metal shears when it has too much pressure on top of it. That happens. It's a thing.
At a 45-degree angle, that's how it shears?
It depends on the pressure. It depends on the pressure, on which direction the angle of attack is on the pressure above it, which direction, what angle it's going to break, but it's always going to shear.
Uniformly at 45 degrees, that's what you're saying?
It can, yes, because it's crystallized. Whenever you harden it, it's crystallizing it, so it's going to have 45-degree angle.
Gotcha.
What do you think happened, Lionel? Tell us what you think instead of asking us questions.
I'm trying to understand my man Donald's logic.
He doesn't believe
I told you. I told you I'm a blacksmith, right? I went to college for 2 years to be a blacksmith. So I'm an expert in metal and heating it up and changing it and moving it and shaping it.
And so the architects and engineers that also went to school for this specific thing, who said that, no, there's no way this shit could happen. The pilots who said there's no way that the plane could do the thing that you saw the plane do. They're all,
Except
they don't know what they're talking about.
I watched it happen live.
No, I'm asking you. Yeah, so let me ask you this. What about the Pentagon? You think that was a plane at the Pentagon as well?
Yes, of course it was. They found parts of the plane all
The Pentagon argument is more rational for you to doubt, at least, because there's not as much footage as many eyewitnesses. So I think that's fairer game to debate, but the towers, I don't think.
It's all fair. It's all fair. All right, so
No,
what about
the 9/11 conspiracies are garbage. Every one of them is garbage. I've looked into every single one that I've ever looked into. They've been garbage.
I go to school, Lionel.
So, well, what about the pilots who said that there's no way that a plane could make that approach at that speed, past all those obstructions, and hit back to the Pentagon at that angle?
I watched it happen on TV live with my
The
own
Pentagon?
eyes. No, the towers. Oh, the Pentagon. They found pieces.
TV live.
They found wings. They found fuselage. They found tail wings. They found bits of plane everywhere. It was a plane.
They found people's head.
Hey, wait, you said they found pieces of plane,
Yes,
airplane wings
all
at
over the place at the
Pentagon?
Pentagon.
They did. That's true. That's true. So look, if you want to say it was a plane plus something else, fine. But there was a plane involved.
Hang on, let him go. Let him go. Stop. The conspiracy guy stopped. The other guy that just started, you go.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you want to say that it was a plane plus something else with the Pentagon, that at least is in the realm of possibility because there ain't as much counter evidence. But there definitely was a plane at the Pentagon.
Absolutely was a plane. They found chunks of it.
Hold on. So did you see the video of the hole and explosion at the Pentagon? With the firefighters?
I saw pictures. I saw pictures of the impact crater. Yeah, planes cause impact craters. They explode.
You seen the plane there?
They explode on impact. There were chunks of planes there. Chunks of the plane there.
You said that. Can you find me a picture of with chunks of plane at the Pentagon?
I'd really rather not have that particular Google search on my computer. Honestly, that's. I don't like talking about the 9/11 conspiracies. I'm doing it right now because I don't know.
Oh, I found some.
Yeah, sure. You said
I'll
if I
post it
may.
in the link now. I found some. I'll post it in the link now.
Oh, thank you. There it is.
I'm
Right.
with you. I'm with
yeah,
you, Donald, on the fact that there's not any crazy evidence, but to be honest, what pushes me to believe that 9/11 actually was, premeditated is actually the building, like the architecture of the building. There's only
it
one
was planned in the 70s.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was planned before. It was planned before. Yeah, bro.
35 years before the thing happened, they had it planned out. Why'd they wait so long?
I don't know how long ago. No, I don't know.
1974, 1975, something like that.
Well, we're talking about beings that they're not really connected through technology. They're it's like you gotta believe in.
Listen, if you read the report, they say that they estimated that it took about 10 years to plan 9/11. So how could something that started in 1990 affect something that happened in 1975?
I posted a link to the debris in the chat, FYI.
Appreciate it, CEO. Or CBD, I can't tell.
I feel you. Well,
Yeah,
then
you
again,
click on it,
you kind of get into like shit.
Are you gonna click on the link?
Like
Yeah, are you gonna click on the link? Have you clicked on the link?
Who, me?
Yeah, the guy who says that the 9/11 thing didn't happen. No, I don't think you. I think it was a different person.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, good.
No, I'm
Thanks.
driving,
Okay.
bro. I'm driving.
Okay, cool. The other guy, sorry, Dean. Dean? Okay, thank you very much. Dean, feel free to speak. I apologize for the interruption.
No, it just makes sense on the behalf of evacuation, like just to like have like to create a traumatic scene for
Why would anybody be motivated to do something so horrible outside of like a terrorist one to destroy our way of life?
Yeah, it's a long story. It's a rabbit hole.
Apparently it started in the 1970s with the buildings being built.
Well, like, look, bro. Like, one you clog up that stairwell from one floor, everyone's fucked.
Well, no, that wasn't the problem. The problem was that there are multiple stairwells that aren't connected. So you had to go down to a particular level and then change to a different stairwell, and then go down that stairwell for a little bit and then change to a different. Because of the way that it was built, as they added on to it, they couldn't have one continuous stairwell from top to bottom. That was the problem. And most people didn't know what stairwells were on every floor because they didn't take the stairs.
Donald, may I ask Dean a question real quick?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So Dean, I don't have an issue with conspiracy theories because I think sometimes there's degrees of truth that end up working out. My issue is with conspiracy theory on top of conspiracy theory on top of conspiracy theory. So here's a mild version of a conspiracy theory, and tell me why you take it any further than this. Maybe people like Dick Cheney and a few other people in the administration knew that there was some evidence of 9/11 happening, and they didn't do everything they could to prevent it. Why does a conspiracy have to go any further than that?
Who's Dick Cheney? Dick Cheney's the lizard dude?
No, Dick Cheney was a vice president under George Bush.
He was a president.
He was vice president. He was VP.
He was a president.
You're saying he was a shadow president?
Okay. Dude, he's in the Ivy League, bro. Like his blood is.
Okay.
But I don't know.
But what is wrong with just keeping a conspiracy theory there? Why does it have to be that the building had explosives in it and they did this and they did? Why it got to be stacked so much?
Well, because we're talking about a cult that is as big as a nation, if not, maybe, I don't know. I believe it's probably a third of the world. Probably less, maybe a fourth. But it's bigger than anyone fucking believes. These are fucking people that are LARPers. Living and just believing, like,
so the problem with the modern idea of the quote-unquote Illuminati is
But wait. I want to get back to the conspiracy theory thing that you were talking about. Because actually belief in conspiracy happens whether you like it or not, actually, because when it comes to God, for example, when the Jewish people, like if you believe that the Jewish people, if you believe in the God of the Jewish people already, whatever, like if you're on that path, even if it's Muslim or Christian, whatever, but I'm saying, whether you believe that God created, God wrote the Bible, or man wrote the Bible, you believe, if you don't believe that God wrote the Bible, then you believe man is conspiracizing against you, meaning that man wrote a Bible. You understand? So, like, it's kind of fucking funny. Because there's, like, some type of inception that you can't detach, because it's the same thing vice versa. Because anyways, there's fucking blood cults everywhere, except for whatever. Yeah, it's look. I never believed in it until like way after Corona, like a year after Corona. I only started, but 2 years maybe. Like a year ago. I never thought I would believe in this shit. I'm sorry.
I'll shut up after this. But like my only issue with the worldwide conspiracy thing is that people in China and Russia and the Middle East and the West want very different things. We're not on the same page about basically anything. So that's why, to me, it's utterly ridiculous. If you want to say Western countries have some conspiracy together, okay, fine, great. But not a worldwide thing.
No, worldwide, bro.
But their interests are too.
I have a question. One simple question. Do you believe that there's higher power in the world? Like supernatural? No. What's the word?
Illuminati power?
No, you fucktard.
Okay.
Excuse me, like, bro. No one cares about that name. That name could also be fucking hoax, but whatever.
It is. I've looked into it.
Do you believe that they're above nature type beings in the universe?
I believe there's a spiritual world. Yes.
Are you like?
All right, so that's kind of what the fight is about here. You know, there's people that believe that that there's people that are rooted from that spiritual world and still are trying to hold on to it, and there's people that don't want that and want to create their own spiritual world.
And there's people that don't accept spiritual.
Well, then again, it's something else, but it doesn't define reality. Like, it doesn't affect the
Well, I mean, you have to demonstrate
manner of the fact
You have to demonstrate
that there is supernatural shit.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
demonstrates. How do you show anything ever happened that's supernatural? How do you show it?
Well, first you got to be a witness, to be honest.
Well, why can't? Because I can show you chemistry working. That's a thing. So
Yeah.
I can show you fusion working. That's a thing. I can show you fission working. That's a thing. And I don't need.
Well, not everyone can show you supernatural shit, bro.
So why not? Because I can show you chemistry all day long anywhere in the observable universe right now. I can.
Because if so, then we would all be fighting over getting our dick sucked with superpowers.
That doesn't make sense.
There would be a huge ego fight in the whole world if everyone could do anything.
No, that's not what I said.
I would just simply
So I
say
think it
what is supernatural is life coming from inorganic material.
Well, no,
I call that supernatural.
All life comes from inorganic material. It's just.
But there's no evidence of that.
Yeah, there is. What is DNA? What is DNA? Is DNA the thing that makes life possible?
I'm saying from the beginning, Donald.
No,
From the beginning.
no. Is DNA the thing that makes life possible?
Okay.
Is it?
Sure.
Yes or no?
Sure.
Well,
Okay.
it's the spine.
DNA, stop. DNA is chemicals only. It's inorganic. It's not alive. It is not alive. It has never been alive. DNA is not alive. All life comes from non-life. All of it.
Where does DNA come from?
DNA comes from RNA. RNA comes from amino acids. Amino acids are made willy-nilly everywhere in the universe.
DNA is not the source of life, though.
Yes, DNA is what makes all life possible on Earth.
So is there a DNA that everyone shares?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Every extant being that we have ever measured their DNA is within 40% match of humans.
So every being, species, or anything shares a part of each other in DNA.
Yes, every tetrapod that has ever lived, that means every dinosaur, every bird, every single thing that has an arm like yours, whales, they all share exactly the same DNA. Every mammal has exactly the same DNA for...
So wait, so you're saying, so hold on. So Don, I'm sorry, I have a question. So just interrupt me. So you're saying DNA isn't an organic molecule?
It is not alive. It is chemistry only.
Is it organic?
Yes, it is organic, but it is not alive.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, how do you get something organic from inorganic?
So what you do is you take amino acids and you build them into RNA, and then RNA builds into DNA, and then DNA builds into all of the diversity of life.
But they had to live in order to do such things, correct?
No, DNA is not alive. The first cells were just fat lipids with RNA in it. That was the first cells was just.
But how were they not alive?
Because they didn't show interactions with the environment the way that living things do. They wouldn't. They couldn't. They didn't have the ability.
Who are you to judge that they weren't thinking?
Because we understand DNA and how it works, and RNA, and amino acids.
Hey, Donald, you vaccinated, bro?
So go back. So Donald, go back from DNA. You said DNA came from what?
RNA.
Okay. And is RNA organic or inorganic?
It's organic, but it's not alive.
Okay, so it's organic. All right, so keep going back until something inorganic became organic. What point
amino
did that
acids?
occur?
Amino acids are inorganic.
Okay.
That's where everything starts as amino acids.
Hey, Donald, did you say you didn't get the COVID vaccine?
No, I haven't gotten it because when I got exposed, the vaccine was still pretty rare. So
you said that you got COVID, so you have to get the vaccine, right?
Well, no, because the virus didn't kill me, I figured I'd be okay to let others have the vaccine because it was still pretty rare when I got exposed.
But what about the variants and the subvariants and things of that nature? Yeah.
The strongest one out there didn't kill me, so the weaker ones probably won't either.
Okay, so no, you'll never get the vaccine.
I might if it starts killing again. If it starts killing again, I'll get the vaccine.
So you're saying amino acids are inorganic?
Yes, amino acids are inorganic.
So we're not made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and containing sulfur as well?
Yeah, we got that stuff too. That stuff came later. All that stuff came later. We incorporated that into the single-celled organisms as they evolved.
You're saying they didn't start out that way?
Yeah, we probably weren't exactly this. It was probably just chemosynthesis. So it started off with chemosynthesis, probably in white smoking hydrothermal vents on the seafloor, and these porous disequilibrium membrane that white smokers have would have allowed little pockets for the formation of lipids and for RNA to form inside of a non-water environment through the bilayer of the lipid bilayer. And then as they move through this disequilibrium in the membrane of these rocks, which was all predicted before we found them. We didn't even know that this type of hydrothermal vent existed before this hypothesis. The hypothesis predicted hundreds and hundreds of things about what this rock would do, and all of them were confirmed. It is an extremely robust hypothesis on where we get the organics of life.
So let me take you through a couple statements. I'm going to go one at a time and just tell me what you disagree with.
Hold on, real quick. Can I correct Donald real quick, my brother? Did you do the research before you said aminos and proteins are not organic?
I might be wrong about that. I haven't slept in 2 days, so I might be wrong.
Yeah, they are.
All right, but they're made of inorganic stuff. They're made from cosmic rays. They're made from cosmic rays in space. Really, no.
So let me just read the statement to you. Tell me what you disagree with. Organic life is characterized by an immense complexity. For example, the mechanisms of DNA replication, protein synthesis, and cellular metabolism involves highly intricate and specific interactions. The probability of such complex systems arising spontaneously from simple inorganic compounds seems exceedingly low, leading some to argue that a naturalistic explanation is inadequate. So what do you disagree with?
What's your source?
I'm just making an argument.
So what's your source on that argument? You didn't come up with it yourself. You got it from somebody. Where did you get it?
I looked at a number of things and put it together.
So what's your source? I need your source. I need to read the source material.
Okay, great. There's like 3 sources. You want me to put them in the chat?
Just tell me the names of the authors.
Hold on a second. First one, sorry. Here, I'll just put the link in, okay?
Just tell me the name of the author.
Some site called digest.com.
But somebody wrote it. You wrote it.
No, this doesn't have a specific author.
Oh, well, then it's an anonymous source. I don't accept anonymous source. I need to see the background of the person who wrote it to make sure that it's a credible source.
Okay, here's something from George Washington University. I'll drop it on the chat.
All right, who's the author?
I dropped it in the chat.
I'd rather you just tell me I can't read right now.
Sorry. All right, let's see who it says the author is. John Kirk.
Is that with the K or a C?
K-Y-R-K.
Children's Chorus. Yes. Said George Washington.
George Kirk. Yeah, George Washington University. George Washington University. Yes.
Donald, I want to know, why don't you moderate more people and grow your room and let it go? Have more faith. Expand the inflation.
Cell biology animation? Is that the guy you're talking about?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about it.
Alright, well, I have to look at his background before I can tell whether or not it's correct.
Well, but why can't you just respond to what I said? That doesn't make sense.
I think that it applies to modern life, and ancient life would have been much more simple. So your first sentence is wrong. So after that, everything is garbage.
You don't think it's immensely complex to have organic life?
It is now, sure.
And you don't think it was 6 billion years ago?
Well, it would have been like 4 billion.
4.5 billion years ago. You don't think it was complex?
It took a little bit for the Earth to cool off, so it would have been like 4 billion years ago that the first replicator started.
Okay.
So I think it would have been extremely simple. I think it would have just been a couple strands of RNA inside of lipid bilayer.
And
Donald, you call it. My bad, bro. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, and then let's just not talk about life in general. Let's talk about human life, right? Like, if it isn't that complex, then why haven't we had any alien visitors? I mean, they would have had. There's got to be some planets out there. Like, if you assume humanity getting something to our level isn't that difficult, and you have to assume there would be civilizations that are billions of years old, and they would have had the capability of getting here.
Why would you make that assumption that it's easy to get to this level of technology? It took us 300,000 years.
You know, Donald, I just want to congratulate you again on being one of the intellectual giants of our ages. Your clubhouse knowledge is absolute. You, sir, are truly a genius, an intellectual of the highest caliber. We should all bow down and worship your complex, superior thoughts, for you know everything under the sun and in the universe. You, sir, are a genius prodigy.
You make life seem so simple, yet the greatest minds on the planet can't answer the question on how chemistry just happened to spawn consciousness upon organic material.
No, I can tell you exactly how that happened. I have a paragraph in my book, but it's going to be very hard for you to read. But you just went into, you guys, it's going to take me a minute to find them. So I found it. Never mind. It wasn't that hard after all. So I have a sentence or a paragraph I need to read. It takes a couple of minutes, but I have to do it uninterrupted. Is that okay?
Do you think?
Right. Oh, do my thing. Okay. So, how does chemistry come alive? When a focused, sustained environmental disequilibrium of H2, CO2, and phosphorus.
What
like when my superposition tissue whips my ass.
Let him finish, buddy. Let him finish, my brother. So we can at least rebuttal when he's done.
Bro, this is so stupid. I want to freak you.
That's not stupid. It's cool, bro.
Biggie, he wrote. At least he wrote it in a book. Thank God he's reading something prepared. We don't just have to listen to his, ridiculous bullshit. We get to hear prepared remarks. At least, thank God, this is something new. Okay, go ahead, Donnie. We're all ready to receive the divine instructions. Thank you, Donald.
We're making this longer than it has to be. Just let him go.
So H2, CO2, and phosphorus across a porous structure that lowers kinetic barriers to reaction, continuously forms organics that bind and self-organize into protocells with proto-metabolisms generating catalytic nucleotides which promote protocell growth through positive feedback loops, favoring physical interactions with amino acids, a nascent genetic code where RNA sequences are selected if they promote protocell growth, so genetic information has meaning from the very beginning. That's how chemistry turns to life. I thought there was going to be a rebuttal period. I can defend everything. I found a really cool YouTube channel. It looks like a bunch of lava lamps on my screen. It's very cool. So does anybody care to rebut what I just said? Because I can demonstrate all of it to be true.
Could you read that again? I'm just trying to get the theory from.
Sure. When a focused, sustained, environmental is a big one coming up. Disequilibrium of hydrogen 2, carbon dioxide, and phosphorus across a porous structure that lowers kinetic barriers to reaction, continuously forms organics that bind and self-organize into protocells with protometabolisms and generating catalytic nucleotides which promote protocell growth through positive feedback loops, favoring physical interactions with amino acids, a nascent genetic code where RNA sequences are selected if they promote protocell growth, so genetic information has meaning from the very beginning. That's quoting a scientist. I don't remember his name right now, but I can probably find it. I forgot to write down his name, but I can.
Do you know what you just said?
Yes, I do. I have read all the papers. So, okay.
Here, can I try to explain it?
Sure, if you understood it.
No, I don't understand it, but I do believe I understand the principles. As far as if you were to throw a whole bunch of items and certain items line up in a fashion, or like a snowflake, these formations happen. You can look at patterns, structures. They do occur in nature. It's just where it becomes a little problematic for people is sure there's structures could be formed, and patterns can happen, and even possible like reactions. It's just seems to be that it needs to be a little bit more complicated than that. And that's where it takes, I would say, just becomes a belief system. But if you believe, I don't know what he specifically believes. Well, what I'm saying is I don't know what you specifically believe in, if you believe in like multiverses or something like that. Yeah, so with your multiverse, and it's basically anything's possible. Yeah, if you give it enough time of just throwing things around, as far as non-contradiction.
Dude, no, you're wrong about everything you just said. So no, not everything in the single universe is possible. With the approaching infinity universes in the multiverse, there are possibilities that there are other possibilities, but it could also be that every single universe is just like ours. We don't know. We don't have that math yet, but we do know that it is out there. Also, there's the quantum realm of multiverses, which is very different. So the quantum realm of multiverses is just the universe splitting. It happens every time that nuclear decay happens. This is why nuclear decay can only be measured in half-lives, because it is a completely random occurrence. Every time a random, irreversible action happens, like the decay of radioactive particle happens, the universe has to separate from each other, and both happen in a superposition, and they both collapse into the potential of a universe.
Okay, I didn't mean to get off track of that, because none of this stuff I know, but what seems to be hard for me to believe is it does seem like there is irreducible complexity when it comes to these cellular forms and things of that nature, which people are mentioning. It's not like a gradual thing, like you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's more like 500 to 10,000 to 500,000. It gets very complicated, and that's what it seems to be. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so so the genetics uses a thing that we use to build arches. So you build a structure underneath the arch, you build the arch on top of the structure, and then after the arch is complete, you don't need the scaffolding anymore, so you take the scaffolding out and use it for something else. Genetics can do the exact same thing.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying there. It's just the problem is the scaffolding itself is useless, and that actually goes against a lot of evolutionary principles. A lot of times from what we see.
Stop. No, you're wrong. It doesn't go against evolutionary principles. It was absolutely predicted by evolutionary principles. Once that DNA is finished with building like the structure above it, then it mutates out into something else or something useless. That's the way that evolution was predicted to go. And that's what we observe in nature.
I know, but even the analogy when hitting Donan.
Is that like cell synthesis?
No, it's DNA.
I want to say something real quick.
Okay, good. And then we're going to get back to the other guy, David.
Sure, yeah, it's David. I think what you're saying is like, wow, this thing's so complex, there's no way that this could be done by random chance alone. And there's so many complexities. There's no way that this could be done by random chance alone. But here's the problem, is if you follow that sort of line of thinking, you're saying, I don't know, therefore God did it. And you're making the same mistake that ancient people made when they looked at lightning and said, I don't know how this lightning works, or why it's striking the ground, therefore God did it. Or I don't know why rain falls from the sky, therefore God is doing it. And that just falls into the God of the gaps theory.
These have all been attributed to supernatural things, even volcanoes and tornadoes. They've all been.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. That obviously there's people even today claiming they found the God particle in quantum physics. All this is proof. I believe principally. Well, I'm just saying. I agree with what y'all saying. Principally, you even just logically, biblically, because I believe in the Bible, is the second you claim you could prove God is something that actually proves against the Bible, proves against the principles, because From what I've seen, God is invisible, and you just have to take it by faith. It ultimately comes.
David, if I were able to disprove the Bible, would that disprove your God?
Well, we can. I'm just saying in general. He just spoke a point to me, and I'm just saying I agree with what he's saying as far as many people claiming, Zeus is responsible for the lightning. You mentioned volcanoes. I don't know what you know of God for the volcano. I don't know, but what I would say though is it does with this. All right.
Address what I asked you. I asked you a question. I want you to address it. If I disprove the Bible, does it disprove your God?
Yes.
I'm talking to David.
I would say yes,
What, David?
But well, yeah, it would. But I mean, you don't even know. You don't even know what Bible I use. Probably more than likely, there's different principles just going on within each other.
I have about 30 of them. Which version do you use?
Yeah, so the Bible in the English language is King James Bible.
That is the worst. Okay, so do you believe in unicorns? Because unicorns is in there 9 times.
Yeah, and satyr is actually mentioned there. Half man, half goat. Satyr is mentioned there.
Well, dragons are mentioned like 20 times.
Yeah. No, it's in there, yeah.
You believe
plus unicorns are just one-horned animals. Like rhinoceros stuff.
They are unicorns. And it's
not a horse with a rainbow horse.
It's a mistranslation of an ox, dude. It's not even a unicorn. It's a mistranslation of an ox. King James Version is the worst translation into English of the Bible that was ever written.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We have different principles.
So, give me a second. I'll be right back. You guys talk. I'll be right back. David, I want to ask you a few questions, and do you have a Bible near you? Because I have one in my hand right now. So, do you have a Bible near you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to open up. Let me find this. It's going to take me a second because I can't read well right now. I need to find this one. So I would like for you to open up to Genesis 30, 37 through 39. I will get my King James.
Are we recording?
Yeah, I'm recording. I'm always recording.
Oh.
So Genesis 30. Are you there yet?
Who?
So Tony, I'm going to read it out of my Bible.
Yeah, I did some research that I'd like to share when the time is right.
Well, David is supposed to be reading a verse of the Bible. Otherwise, not reading it. You said you had a Bible, right?
Yeah. Would you say Genesis 30?
30 through 37, I think.
I'll be the reader. Genesis 30.
Genesis chapter 30?
Yes, Genesis chapter 30.
Verses what? 30?
37 through 39.
Oh, okay. So this is Genesis chapter 30, verses 37 through 39. It says, and Jacob took him rods of green poplar, hazel.
It's a tree poplar, yeah, you got it.
And of hazel and chestnut tree, and piled white strakes in them, and made the white appear which was in the rods. And he set the rods which he had piled before the flocks in the gutters, in the watering troughs when the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. And flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle, winged straight, speckled, and spotted.
So, does having sex in front of a tree change your genetics?
I don't know. From what I've seen, no. But no, I don't know.
So, how many times do you have to prove the Bible wrong before you'll accept that the Bible's wrong?
Well, I'm just saying I don't know what's going on with the situation. As far as it does seem to be attributing. It does seem to be attributing that he did this.
You need to stop for 1 second. You need to stop for 1 second because you said you don't understand, and then you went on to explain something you don't understand. Let me explain to you so you do understand. Is that okay?
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I've heard this many times. You know, I said I don't know what's all going on in the scenario as far as intentions, causing, asking. I don't know.
I can explain that. I can explain that to you.
Oh yeah, you must explain it.
So I can explain it to you. So it's him trying to alter the genetics of sheep by having them have sex and conceiving in front of a striped tree. He thinks that because the tree is striped, the sheep will come out speckled. That's what's happening in the verse. And he's doing it to the chief boss, so that's
Yeah, no, I understand, yes.
So that is wrong. Trees do not affect genetics. How many times do I have to put
Hold on. Does anybody take that verse literal?
It doesn't matter.
No, that's the biggest factor of this, right?
Why? I take it literal.
Stop. If you invoke that it's metaphorical, then you have to give me a process by which I can apply to every verse, and that the output of that process is oh my God, almost done. I got like 3 words left. I got 3 words left. Shut up.
Therefore the ancients say, yield and overcome.
Can you mute that? Motherfucker, pad, no, no, my dick will put out all the hard and bad ones.
Things will come to you.
Mute that.
You baby.
23.
Get tired. Now
To talk little is natural. Highway
Donald's trolling, my bro. You gotta
does not pass all day. Why is this? Heaven and earth. If heaven and earth cannot make things eternal, how is it possible for man? He who follows the Tao is at one with the Tao. He who is virtuous experiences virtue. He who loses the way is lost. When you are at one with the Tao welcomes you. When you are at one with virtue, the virtue is always there. When you are at one with loss, the loss is experienced willingly. He who does not trust enough will not be trusted. 24. He who stands on tiptoe is not steady. He who strides cannot maintain the pace. He who makes a show is not enlightened. He who is self-righteous is not respected. He who boasts achieves nothing.
Hey Donald, can you please
He who reneges will not endure.
Ron, are you there?
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Does anyone know what it's called in the Catholic Church? They bless the wine and then it becomes blood.
The transubstantiation.
What is that?
That's what you're talking about, where the wine becomes the blood.
And Stan, I think I'm right by this, and I think we all should be. You know?
The Catholic Church tried to prosecute a kid who grabbed a cracker that had been through the transubstantiation and ran away with it. They tried to charge him for kidnapping because he stole the body of Christ.
He stole the body of Christ. It was a felony.
Yeah.
There's a council I learned about today, and it's called Lateran. The Fourth Council of the Lateran in 1215 spoke of the bread and the wine and instituted this transubstantiation. So it didn't start till 1,200 years later. So the early apostles who sat there at that Last Supper, they didn't take this to do it, right?
Never did it.
Okay. This is completely a Vatican thing. The bread and the wine.
Also, Mark has been added to. Also, we don't know who wrote any of the Gospels. Also, all of the Gospels where they don't copy each other, they contradict each other. Like how many people went to the tomb was the.
Oh, by the way, read my mind, Donald Steve, because I just wrote that down. Okay, everybody ready? Luke says Mary Magdalene and Mary and Joanna. Okay.
Congratulations, you were at the tomb.
Thank you. I made the cut. Luke. John says Mary Magdalene alone. We have 2 more. Matthew, Mary Magdalene, the other Mary, and a couple of angels. And lastly, Mark, Mary Magdalene, the other Mary, and Salome.
So where was the stone? Was it at the opening and then rolled out, or was it already rolled out when they got there?
It was already rolled away.
But if the
it depends on which gospel you read. Because in some of them it says that in one of them, I think it's Matthew, it says that it rolled away as they were there, when they walked up.
my Jeopardy question is, how do we know that the Romans didn't steal the body?
How do we know the body ever made it to the tomb? How do we know it wasn't put into a mass grave like every other person who was ever crucified, with a very, very small number of exceptions?
Okay, going with tomb theory, how do we know the Romans didn't take the body? I thought it was a cool thing to tell you.
It is, yeah, that's cool.
Okay. What's the answer?
There's an answer. I mean, I don't think that Jesus ever went to a tomb, because if he was crucified as a political prisoner, they would have just tossed him into it. They would have left him up on the thing for days and days and days and let birds eat out his eyeballs, and would toss him to a mass grave. That's how they dealt with political execution. That's not.
Well, you must have forgotten that chapter.
It's not the Bible. Romans wrote it down. For centuries, they wrote that down. It's just like every century.
If God was really if Jesus was really the Son of God, how would we know by word of mouth?
Okay, I'm almost done. Joseph of Arimathea was a wealthy man who gave him the tomb, right? He also wrote countless volumes of things that happened at the time, right, Donald?
Yeah, but that's not a very reliable source, because it might be fiction. He might be fiction. You have to be sure.
All right, then I'm done.
Because I mean, who paid for the lot that the traitor guy hung himself in?
Judas?
No, it was Joseph of Arimathea.
Judas. Does anyone?
Judas, yeah.
Does anyone here? I don't know. Does anyone here know that each apostle depicted a zodiac sign? Or no?
There are 13 now, so one of them got to be Jesus or Mary.
Jesus is the 13th. He's the sun.
Well, no, there's a 13th zodiac constellation. They had to add one.
Well, they did. Somebody tried to add Paul. All right, thank you.
So is there anybody else in the audience or on stage?
Donald.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to ask you, Donald?
What's that?
You know what I'm going to ask you. I ask you the same thing every time.
Well, I forget. Oh, have I been convinced yet?
Has anyone yet convinced you that God exists?
No, not even close.
All right, I'll try back another time, see if they have. Keep checking up.
We're looking at evidence. We're pivoting.
I do wish to pick a fight with you.
With me?
No, with Joanna.
Oh.
A bench-clearing, stick-swinging brawl over transubstantiation.
Okay.
And the idea that comes from the 13th century.
Okay.
Justin the Martyr wrote about it in the 1st century. Ignatius of Antioch wrote about it, and he was the 3rd patriarch of Antioch.
Let me write that down. That name again?
Justin the Martyr.
Oh, Justin the Martyr. Go ahead.
Ignatius of Antioch, St. Ignatius.
I had an uncle named Ignacio, so I can write Ignatius.
Yeah, same name.
Okay.
And so the early church fathers believed in the personal presence of Christ on the altar.
Oh.
And it is not a creation of the Vatican. This is also the tradition in Eastern churches.
Well, do you think it's cool to do that, though? I mean, the Old Testament, any drinking of blood was forbidden. Even kosher animals have to be bled a certain way.
Yeah, the old rules don't apply anymore. He came to fulfill the law, remember? We're under a new covenant.
So it's okay then?
We've put away the animal sacrifices of the turtle doves and of the sheep who needed to be brought into the temple for the remission of sin, because Jesus has died for our sins, and he is now the sacrifice.
I want to read something real quick. The Roman Catholic Church teaches that in the Eucharistic offering, bread and wine are changed into the body and blood of Christ. The affirmation of the doctrine on the real presence of Christ in the
Sorry, that's my
Eucharist was expressed using the word transubstantiation. By the 4th by the Fourth Council of the Lateran in 1215. It was later challenged by various witnesses. So it looks like there was something before the 12th century, but it wasn't adopted by the church until, I'm sorry, the 13th century, but it wasn't.
You're misunderstanding what these ecumenical councils are. And these...
There were doctrine are formed.
No. The idea that a council votes on something and agrees upon something does not mean it was invented at that council. For example, the Council of 325 in Nicaea resolves the Arian heresy, which is to say, is Jesus God or is Jesus man? That question is answered at Nicaea.
Is that doctrine?
The Arian heresy is not doctrine. The creed is.
Oh my God! Is it accepted because it is like supposed to be like God? Is it accepted?
The council?
Is it accepted as?
When you say it, to what are you referring?
Is it accepted as the dogma of the religion?
You're using a pronoun where I need you to use a noun in order to inform me what the subject of your question is. Don't say it. Say what you are talking about.
The church.
Is the church? Is the church what?
Holy shit. So, now I forgot what I was going to say. What did I say? Does anybody remember what I said? Shit.
You're asking me about something. I just don't know what it is.
So there. What I said was there is evidence that it was happening before it was accepted by the churches as doctrine, but it was accepted by the church as doctrine in 1215. That council of
I don't agree.
Well, that's
what that council dealt with.
Yeah,
but that council comes after the schism of 1054, and you have to understand later councils in the context of.
No, stop. We don't.
Because it's a different church. You're referring to two different institutions.
Stop. We need to refer to when it was accepted as doctrine and 1215 at the lactating.
No, that's incorrect.
That's just fact. It's history.
No, you're misunderstanding what that council is, and you're misunderstanding the authority of that church.
It's church teaching.
That's a simplistic and nonsense explanation. If you don't care to understand, that's fine, but you're wrong.
It was the only church at the time.
No.
The Reformation.
Wrong.
It was the only Christian church at the time.
False.
Okay, where was the other Christian church?
Antioch, Jerusalem, Constantinople, Alexandria.
Those were all Roman Catholic.
No, not after 1054, they're not.
You're the Orthodox asshole. Sorry, dude. Right?
I'm saying those churches exist.
They were heretics when it came to the Roman Catholic Church.
They anathematized each other. The bishops of the East and the bishops of the West mutually excommunicated each other. Those anathemas were lifted, I think, 50 years ago.
So which doctrine should we use?
I don't care which doctrine you use. That's not my point.
It doesn't matter. You want to have a new doctrine, you just get a new pope, and it becomes an anti-pope.
Roy still has
fucking matter.
The idea of
it's all fluid. It's all plastic. The whole history of the church.
This is ridiculous.
Well, it's not ridiculous. That's how fucking history is, James.
I'm explaining
this at all.
I'm explaining history to you very slowly and painfully, and you're like, "Oh, the Pope is in charge of the whole church."
I read the history of that the church teaches, not what you teach. What the church teaches.
We understand.
Which church?
We understand that the history of the Catholic Church is just as secular and shitty as any other fucking government that ever existed. We're not stupid.
Thank you for your contribution.
Well, James, am I wrong or not?
You are wrong.
How am I wrong, James?
You're wrong because you're describing a single church where multiple churches exist.
What does that even fucking mean, dude?
All right.
My parents are Orthodox Christians. I understand the fucking schism and the fucking messy, stupid history of the Catholic Church. I'm very aware of it.
So we're not talking about a single church.
I've been to the fucking Vatican, dude.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Because I'm awesome. That's why I'm fucking with it.
So you understand that the Vatican is separate from the Hagia Sophia.
That's a bug, not a feature, dude. Just so you know.
What's James batting for here? What are we doing?
I'm batting for historical correctness with respect to what we're talking about.
I'm
And
going
in the
with
end,
church
what is it, like
teachings about
talking
the church.
donkeys? Like what's your already like
We can stop.
baked in conclusion that you want us to
I came in
that you want to have a script that we follow and lead us to. What is it, James?
You want to ask me that in a more angry tone? Let's have this conversation.
This is how I fucking talk, dude.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Always talks that way every time.
You don't like it? Does it bother you?
I love it.
Women love it.
It drives me crazy.
They like that I take control.
I don't know.
Other men are threatened by it, like you, James.
Yeah, I'm not threatened.
I've noticed that.
I'm so threatened over here.
You actually seem like
I'm basically listening to
argument.
I just love it.
David,
what's up?
Hey, no, I'll look into that rods thing again because I don't know what the heck's going on there. Heard it many times. But I'm talking about the rod thing as far as the cattle, the offspring, the genetic changes and things of that. I mean, I don't know what the witchcraft's going on. I don't know what the freak's going on, and never studied that. There's plenty of things like that are troubling. Yeah, I mean, they seem to be wrong, but the reason why I still have faith in.
They are wrong. They don't seem to be wrong. They are wrong.
Well, I don't know. The thing is, in the universe, there's a lot of answers to things.
David, a strategy will never affect genetics.
Well, do you believe in witchcraft?
No.
No. Well, yeah, there's in the world, people do believe in. Well, I'm in America. There's plenty of witchcraft going on. But
show me one successful.
Well, I'm just saying it's
never been cats. Never.
I mean, there's videos and stuff. I don't know anybody that does it, but.
Show me a video of one successful spell, something that maybe materialized out of nothing, maybe someone being affected physically, like skin wrinkling up or something. Show me one successful spell, just one.
All I'm saying is that I don't know the answer to it. Okay. I'm simply saying, if you want to see witchcraft, you say everything you see. You're just saying it's CGI or whatever, and I agree.
Okay, that's what you want to see. So before you start arguing that this thing is real, you have to demonstrate it to be real, which means you have to show me something that will show that this thing exists in objective reality. So show me a single successful spell anywhere in the world, in the history of mankind. Any. Just one successful spell.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. And I can't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you cannot demonstrate,
hang on.
If you cannot demonstrate it to exist, I can dismiss it without evidence.
Donald,
Yes, copy that.
Hey, Donald, there you go. Music. There's one successful spell. Music.
Music is not a spell. Music is just music.
Yes, it is. There's witchcraft that goes into music, especially rock music. Okay,
so
Donald,
my
everything.
dad had a very successful band for the last 50 years of his life. I know all about making music and how it's done and all of that, and I don't need you to give me a lesson on how to make music. It's not magic.
I'm just saying that
So do not abstract.
Well, no, can I say this real quick, Major? Is what I'm saying is I don't know this stuff. I don't know about witchcraft, things like that. I don't even know if Jacob's doing it. But what I'm simply saying is the example that Wynn's giving about music. Music is still from the Bible. I don't know anything about it because it's invisible and it's no information. But what I'm simply saying though is if you look at all the top artists of the world throughout the history, they all talk about how spirits talked to them, gave them the songs, gave them the lyrics. Well, I'm just saying that's what I'm trying to say is I can't prove to you, but they literally testify about something. Told them, they controlled him, possessed him.
David, music is only spiritual to you if you're a fucking retard.
They're the ones that make the music.
Hold on, Donald. I think music is being right now. music is not spiritual. That's a bunch of fucking horseshit. You're a dumb, superstitious moron.
Well, no, you gotta know what spiritual
No, I
is.
don't have to know anything. I've worked with the top artists in the fucking industry.
Alright, we gonna trigger one over here.
Like, no fucking doubt.
We gonna trigger one over here.
Guys, give me 1 minute.
Unlike you fucking faggot.
I need 1 minute with this guy. 1 minute. He just.
Self-protection. He's self-protecting.
No, I just want to talk to this guy 1 minute. He said you have to know what the spirit is. So please define spirit for me, Dave.
Yeah, so in the Bible, spiritual things deal with information.
No, not in the Bible. I don't accept the Bible as fiction. I don't accept the Bible. So outside of the Bible.
Yeah, well, it's.
Show me divine.
Well, spiritual things are invisible things. So when something.
What if I told you?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing is where you have to actually interpret. See, you actually have spiritual things in you. When the scenario happens, no, I'm giving you an example how the Bible uses it.
I don't want an example. I want a definition. So you need a definition.
Yeah, I just told you. Yes.
That's unfair, Donald.
Spiritual things in the Bible deals with information, words, processes.
Oh my God.
That's what.
You never stop talking. So you never stop talking. So David, I've muted you. I don't know if you're still talking. I think you're muted. Stay muted for a minute. So. Without using the Bible, you have to do this. Without using the Bible, define what spirit is. Now you can read. This is a conversation.
Well, I don't need the Bible. I'm telling you my definition, which I happen to believe in the same similar with the Bible. But the definition of how I would think of it is how we're just dealing with reasons, words, and interpretation. These are real things, and these will be classified as spiritual things.
That's not a definition.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it is. Words are spiritual things. Information is spiritual.
For starters, no definition starts with I think. That's one thing. But we're going to set that aside. But the words they used inside do not describe anything invisible. They do not describe anything that interacts with matter. So please, can you give a coherent definition of spirit?
Donald, can I ask you a question, my brother?
Sure.
You're not going to get a coherent definition for spirit, right? The same way.
No.
Hold on, fellas. Let me chop it up with Donald real quick. I'm sorry, y'all. So, do you believe time exists?
Time is physical. It's a dimension.
So you believe time exists?
Yes, it's physical. It's got a dimension.
But no one can define time. What is time?
Time is the curvature of space.
That means nothing.
You wrong.
It means.
Try again.
It means that there are 3 dimensions of space, a dimension of time. The mass that is inside the space curves it, and as the curvature happens, the time runs through it. So it's literally.
I mean, they'll say the same thing about gravity, Donald. That gravity is time dilation, right? You know.
So
you want to explain that?
The acceleration is what causes the time dilation. Acceleration.
Right. So you can't tell me what time is, right? You can't measure time.
Yes, we
That's not a definition of time, my bro. But that's just a process.
Stop.
Yeah, you're right. Is your wristwatch consistent?
We can tell you what it is, but you don't have the patience to hear it. That's the thing. We can tell you what it is.
I ain't real bad. You stop dick riding, man. Shut the fuck up. No, go ahead. See explanation. My bad.
He is dunderhead. That's why.
Dunderhead. Ren, let him go, y'all. Let him.
I could be done by now if you shut the fuck up.
Shut up,
Shut the fuck up.
Man. Say what you're saying, man. So cry like a girl.
Okay. So time is measured by clocks, dude. That's what clocks are. They measure.
How did we get clocked? Hold on, Ren. Hold on, my brother. Is clocks the most accurate measurement of time? Is it consistent?
No. It is consistent.
Is it consistent? Are 2 clocks? Can 2 clocks be consistent?
No. So listen, we also measure time by the decay of radioactive atoms. So that is an extremely precise way of measuring time, and that's
so what you're telling me is time can be measured.
Yes.
You can't prove to me time exists, and you can't define it.
I can measure it.
That's exactly what you're telling me, my brother.
Poppy, I told you we can measure it. If it can be measured, it exists.
Yeah, but that's what I just told
you. But if your measurement is inconsistent, how is that accurate?
Listen, the radioactive decay of the decay of radioactive elements is very accurate. It is very constant. It doesn't change at all.
Donald, does time dilation exist? Yes or no?
Yes, time dilation exists at very high.
So your measurement of time would never be consistent, correct or incorrect?
Time changes because of matters.
So will time always be consistent or not?
The measurement of time is always consistent. Yes, time itself is a curvature of space-time. They're one entity. They work together to process the gravity and the time of the universe.
He's chatting a whole bunch of shit, man. He's
he's being contradictory.
No, I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. He's chatting a whole bunch of shit right now.
He's being very contradictory, my brother.
That's not what's happening.
You can't tell me. Hold on, Donald. My bad. You can't tell me that time is inconsistent and then tell me.
Jesus Christ, what is wrong,
bro? Go ahead, bro.
Let him talk. Like you're scared.
I'm not scared. I'm trying to explain to you. Let me. You are scared. So I'm trying to explain extremely complex things in a very short period of time, which means they're going to be simplified. Sometimes simplified to the point of inaccuracy, but not much inaccuracy. A little inaccuracy, but it's just because I'm almost done.
Basically, you're
I'm almost done. So the way that I have to dumb things down because you don't have the base knowledge to understand the things that I need to explain to you.
We don't have to.
I'm almost done. Just a couple words left.
Stop insulting people, man. Self-projection is a horror.
So to get it as simple as you guys need to understand it, because you don't have the base knowledge that is needed to understand the advanced stuff. I have to dumb it down to the
I have the base knowledge.
Almost inaccuracy. Now I'm done. I had two.
Ren, hold on, my brother.
Why are you trying to insult our intelligence? Like we didn't.
I'm about to smoke him real quick.
I had two fucking words left. Two fucking words left.
Say the 2 words.
Fucking dickhead.
Go ahead, Donald.
Go on the gasket. Here we go. That's what Donald I like. Go on, Donald. Yeah.
No, I like to speak.
This is what I'm saying. He can't have an intellectual conversation like this in public and insult people because he will get dragged.
Dude, stop talking.
No, go ahead, Donald. Finish up your last part. I want to smoke you real quick.
He's done cooking himself cookies.
Ren, hold on, my brother. Hold on, let him go, because I'm about to smoke him real quick. I'm waiting for him to finish his explanation.
Okay, the guy who said I'd like to say something, please, go ahead.
You running, Donald?
No, stop.
Running.
Stop! Oh my God, stop talking.
So, Donald, would you consider soma cells, would you consider soma cells to be the explosion of one cell in the body?
Say that word again.
Soma cell.
Yeah, what is that?
When something foreign enters the body, there is there's this sort of.
I don't even mean.
It's more like if we look at it from the DNA structure, it's like an entity mutating the DNA, but it's not the DNA.
How do you spell it?
You get it?
How do you spell it? Look it up.
If you look at a DNA structure,
just spell the thing for me. Sumer cell. Spell it.
SOMASEL. Soma and cell.
SOMA cell?
Yeah.
Okay, the soma Latin or cell body of a neuron contains the nucleus and other structures. For living cells, these structures support the processing of the neuron, and most important of which is the production of neurotransmitters. So they're neurotransmitter producers. Yeah, okay, I can accept that that's the thing. What's wrong with that? We need neurotransmitters to have connections and impulses through different cells.
Yeah, so would we consider synthetic foods to be forms of, feelings and addictions human beings create over time, creating the soma cells to mutate to a different thing until it causes cancer. Would you consider that?
We don't have any synthetic food here.
There are lots of synthetic foods.
Like what?
Like the MSGs, the fluoride.
MSG is not synthetic. MSG is not synthetic. It's just molecular. It's not synthetic.
It's what? The MSG is what?
MSG is just, it's like a flavoring. It's like a flavoring molecule. I don't remember
Synthesized. It's synthesized, and
Okay, but
that's what.
Okay, so you're equivocating the definition of two different words to the same thing. So that's logical fallacy.
Did you say MSG?
Yeah.
It's not logical fallacy.
It's like an Asian, the umami flavoring they use in Asian cuisine.
Oh, it's so tasty. It's so tasty.
So it's not eating my summer right now. I have a box of shit.
MSG is harmless. Hang on. MSG is harmless.
Exactly, feelings. To feel something, right?
I don't require feelings for chemistry. I don't understand you.
You need rhythm.
I need what?
I said you need rhythm. You need to understand what I'm saying.
I can't carry a tune in a bucket.
You sound like you definitely have no rhythm.
Yeah, I definitely have no rhythm. I got a guitar on the wall. I got a violin. I've got a piano. I've got, and I've never been able to play any of them. I've got a harp, like a lap harp, and I have tried to play.
Playing an instrument isn't rhythm.
What?
Reading a sheet and playing the notes that you see doesn't mean you have rhythm, man.
Yeah, I know. I have no rhythm. I cannot play any of these instruments because I have no rhythm. So anyway, is there anything else you want to talk about besides my shitty singing?
Coffee conversation with time. Let's get back to that. While you were running away.
I wasn't running away. Somebody else wanted to talk. So if you want to get back to that conversation, that's fine. But we have to have a conversation. You cannot just keep talking.
Yeah, we can have a conversation. But when you start insulting people's intelligence just because your intelligence has been belittled by said people, it doesn't make you a smart person, does it?
That's not what happened. What happened was
That is what happened.
What happened was
you said some dumb shit, you got caught out in your dumb shit, and then you tried to ad hominem your way out of that bitch. But we ain't saying that shit.
That's not what happened. So what happened was I was trying to have a conversation with you. I was trying to have a conversation with you guys, and you wouldn't shut your mouth long enough for me to reply to any of the things you were saying. So whenever you have a conversation, you have to go point by point. You can't just bring up a bunch of points and then.
Yeah, but you also said, do not. I quite remember you said DNA is dead. DNA is dead.
1 second.
Hold on, Major. 1 second, buddy.
Thanks. So you can't expect me to just remember every single thing that you bring up when you bring up like 15 different things at a time, and when you're all done, you go back and reply to all of them individually. No, you have to go one at a time, and that's why I was trying to stop you so I could talk to you about the thing that I disagreed with you about before you moved on, so that we could agree about it before you moved on. And if you moved on without the agreement, then the rest of your argument just falls because that has no foundation. And I didn't say anything stupid.
So back to the
hang on,
conversation.
I have just a couple words left. Just a couple words left.
There we go.
I didn't say anything garbage because I can demonstrate everything that I said. So now I'm done. And I'm going to go smoke cigarettes.
Okay, back to the conversation now. And he ran away. He ran away again, coffee. You see? He just likes to chat a whole bunch of shit, think that he sounds smart, and then run away. This is what Donald does. And then Brenda, whoever the fuck this motherfucker is.
Now you gotta go catch his breath.
So stop. I am not running away. I'm just going to go smoke a cigarette and come back. And if you want to continue on with this stupid conversation, you can, but you're still going to.
Oh, it's a stupid conversation now, Bobby. But he was involved in it 10 minutes ago. Make it make sense. Hey, Coffee, what was you going to say anyway that was going to cook this cuttlefish?
No, basically, I'm just trying to prove that you can't. No one on this planet can prove time, right? If you're gonna stick to Newtonian law, yeah, you can measure times with clocks, but that's not the overall aspect of time. When you conceive time, it's just an event duration, right? Your conception of that event duration. So your event duration, you can't prove that's the same as someone else's event duration. You can't. It's impossible. Your aspect of time is flawed.
Yeah, I would agree. And it all started because I mentioned something spiritual, and he put the safe for us as far as time.
That's what I'm saying. He's not gonna. No one over here is gonna be able to prove spirit as much as we know it exists. No one could prove it. Just like I feel the same way as God.
Well, the thing is, with spirit is apparently if it's invisible. How reality works, people can look at information with their physical senses, but the interpretation of what's happening can be different in people. And when something's invisible, you have your preconceived notions in your worldview of how to rationalize and reason through it. But if you don't have a source, I'm persuaded at least, if you don't have a source that is telling you how these spiritual invisible things happen, it's hopeless. If somebody actually knows how these things works and communicates it to you, which is what I'm looking for, I'm looking at the Bible seems to be accurate as far as what it's describing it is, and can depict these outward situations that other people are depicting better. That's the reasoning of it, and that's when I obviously mentioned that it's invisible. He doesn't want to hear a definition that I'm giving. That's fine. The whole point, you can name it whatever you want. It's just do the outcomes. When you hypothesize and test, do the outcomes actually make sense? That's what we're interested in. If you don't want it to be spirit, I can name it something else. But the truth is that words, commandments, your will, your power in you that you want to see fulfilled and desired, a desire accomplished, these things are real, and we don't really know what these are. Just kind of hypothesizing on things, and these books happen to mention what these things are and how they work, and you can test it out and see if it's consistent.
Yeah, it's a hard concept to grasp, especially for someone like Donald, who's so scientific and not so much philosophical. He doesn't contemplate the idea that emotions, the mechanics of our bodies, taste, all this comes from one neuron, right? It's two to three to four phenomenons coming from one process, which is like, if you think about it, it breaks through.
What are we talking about?
No, I was saying the fact that a neuron, right, could cause all these types of phenomenons, right? One process. That,
Hang on. It's not a single neuron that does that. It's a large group of neurons. We got 100 billion connections in our brains.
yes, my brother, but you can't tell me which neurons, right? You can't tell me the difference, right, between the neurons that dictate your taste to the neurons that dictate your sound.
Yeah, I can. That's just wrong.
So what's different about them?
There's nothing different about them. They're just different processes of the brain.
Exactly my point.
Hang on, River, welcome to the station.
Hello, everyone.
And Ron. Thank you. And Ron, welcome in. And Randy is with you. So, we were talking, who are we talking to a second ago? About neurons.
Yeah. Donald, one other thing. How are soma cells formed and created in the body?
Well,
my brother, you're changing the topic.
No, that's the same thing.
No, there's a structure in it. There's a structure in it.
Well, the body grows things. I mean, we evolve organs and neurons and ear neurons and subconscious and id. What is it?
Donald, can I ask you a question? Do you not think it's rude when you're in a conversation with someone to deflect to another conversation or topic when you haven't even closed out the topic that we were discussing?
Well, I'm not the one that did it. It was this guy who asked the question, not me.
I understand that, but why not have the integrity to cut that down and actually close out the conversation we were having to continue? I understand that, Major, but I understand that, Major, but we wasn't even done talking, my brother. He could have closed out the conversation to keep on the topic. You understand what I'm saying? It just comes off rude. You've done that multiple times today.
Coffee, he said it was going to be quick. That's why I didn't knock it down. Otherwise,
I understand that, Donald, but you've done that multiple times today. You make it hard to construct a conversation with you.
You're not the only person in the room. There's others that want to speak. So he said it's over with now, I think. Did you get the answer?
No, I absolutely didn't, and that happened about three. I mean, I don't know if I'm bugging. If I'm bugging, someone else on this stage can tell me I'm bugging. But I honestly feel like you have a hard ability to close out conversations. It comes off like you have ADHD or something.
I'm pretty sure that one's done, and I was going back to you, probably within 15 seconds of this happening. So, Major, did you get your answer, or is it not sufficient?
I didn't hear what you said. That was so I
said that the body grows organs. We've grown neurons and mirror neurons, and we've grown vessels and arteries. There's no problem growing this soma cell.
There's no problem in growing soma cells.
Yeah, I mean that's what the body does. It grows organs itself. And whenever a mutation happens that is beneficial, like the tumor cell, then we hold on to it because of natural selection. Okay, that's enough for now. Major, if you stick around, we'll talk more about it later. Let's get back to coffee because.
Yeah, that had nothing to do. I'm sorry to be rude, my brother. It just baffles my mind. My brother, but there's a decorum that you keep when you're holding a conversation out of respect.
It's over with now. I'm back with you.
No, it's cool. We can conclude the conversation here. I don't want to carry it out. It was disrespectful to begin with. I'm not taking it serious. Just it should be held through better decorum. That's what I'm saying.
Dude, it was a quick little interjection. Don't worry about it. I'm back to you now. We could have been talking.
No, it's cool, my brother. It's cool. We good with the conversation. We can continue.
Okay, let's go. So you were talking about something. I don't remember what were you talking about?
Now we're talking about the differentiation in neurons, right?
So there are different parts of the brain that control different things, and we can put you in an fMRI and we can see which parts of the brain have the most activity during a particular situation. So by that, I can tell you which neurons have taste, which neurons have thought, which neurons have numbers, which neurons have math. It's easy.
Are all those? Hang
on. We can even predict what people are going to do, like 15 seconds ahead of time. Sorry, go ahead.
Are all those neurons the same as each other?
Yeah, they're all the same.
So the only thing that that causes the difference, right, between them is the process in which they interact with each other.
Well, it's the process that interacts with the body. So the nerves go from the brain to the rest of the body, and each part of the brain has a particular part of the body that.
Understood, right? It receives information from the outside in, but what? The only thing that dictates, right, the sensations that you feel are the actual interactions between the neurons, right? The complex processes
that
action.
There's also hormones, so it's chemicals and the electrons, so they have to work together. It's bioelectrochemical reaction.
Do your hormones affect what you hear?
Yes. Did you hear me? I said yes.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
I have something called tinnitus, and it is a chemical imbalance that causes a ringing in my ear. That sometimes gets extremely high pitched and loud, and it hurts, gives me a migraine, and helps me over in pain. And it's all chemical because a particular hormone got released at the wrong time because I have shitty genes. Anything else? David? Or I'm sorry, Coffee? Coffee. I love coffee. Coffee is like my favorite drink ever. It actually helps my pain dramatically. Not as much as the weed. The weed helps. So is there anybody else in the audience who has a question or comment? I'd love to have a conversation with you. There's a bunch of people that are talking. Feel free. It's an open stage. Anybody can talk. Apparently coffee is finished. in the audience, feel free to come on stage. Thank you for coming through. I think I've welcomed everybody else who's here. But just in case I missed you, welcome to my stage. Thank you for coming by. I love it when people come to my stage and talk. So a lot of people here for quiet. So let's see here. Let's do a little count. Is MacGyver, are you around? John, are you around? Major, are you around? David, are you around? Ren, are you around? Ron, are you around? River, are you around?
Oh, I'm definitely here. What do you mean?
You got anything you want to talk about?
Are you gonna get out of pocket if we have a conversation? But I know you can talk like an adult. I've seen you do it.
You know what? I'm sorry I missed it.
I said that you're gonna behave yourself if we talk.
Well, that depends on how cooperative you are.
That depends on how cordial you are.
Well, it's valid to interrupt if your interlocutor has said something factual or misrepresented something or done something, or if you need clarification. Those are valid reasons to interrupt. Those are the only valid reasons to interrupt.
Okay, so make sure you abide by the rules when I interrupt you then. Yeah?
Well, you have to abide by
those both ways.
Yeah, you have to abide by those rules too. Only interrupt if I say something infactual. Actually, infactually, you can demonstrate to be infactual. Or you need clarity, or I've misrepresented.
Okay, so now we got the ground rules set out. What are you going to talk about, Donald?
I'll talk about pretty much anything. I have a wide base of knowledge. It's not deep in some places, but it's wide. It's very deep in several places, many places.
Let's talk about. I don't want to go flat earth for you, Carl. We've been there already. So let's talk about gravity.
I love talking about gravity. It's a very cool thing.
Let's talk about gravity.
All right, so gravity is the curvature of space-time. What is hard to understand about that?
Well, no one's ever grabbed no space-time to actually see this curvature that you talk about. So
yeah, we do actually. We measure
right now.
We measure with gravimeters, so we can measure.
Have what?
Gravimeters. GRAVIMETER.
Hold on. Spell it again.
GRAVI.
Yeah.
So METER.
Gravimeter.
I don't really care how you pronounce it. You can pronounce it. Just remember gravimeter. But that's how we measure gravity right there. There's lots of information. There's even submarines that use gravity to navigate on the oceans before. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so it says a gravimeter or gravimeter is an instrument used in gravimetry for measuring the local gravitational field of the Earth. A gravimeter is a type of accelerometer specialized for measuring a constant downward acceleration of gravity. So basically it's an accelerometer that just measures downward force.
That's what gravity is, the downward acceleration.
Okay. So you're saying this device has detected the gravity anomaly of the space-time that is current between the Earth, like the fabric of the Earth sits on, basically.
That's just one of the ways that we detect gravity. Yes, that does detect gravity.
So you're saying that machine can detect the fabric of the universe.
Of space-time. Fabric is space-time, but I don't like calling it the fabric of space-time. It's just space-time.
So what's to say that there isn't a magnet within that machine that pulls it down? What's to say that
the machine just doesn't sit down and doesn't move.
So it can't be electrocuted. So if the electric potential is the same as every part of the machine, then the electricity cannot affect the result.
So what do they use to measure the downward pull? Because
A gravimeter, thing that I just
but what's pulling it down, Donald? Because it doesn't make sense. If I get a helium balloon, if I get a helium balloon, bring it to the same site, the balloon's still going to float. Gravity's not going to pull it down to the ground. So what is pulling on this device to make it go down?
So when you put helium balloons in the car and you step on the gas, what happens to the balloon?
We're not talking about being in a car. We're talking about being outside. No, we're talking about, we're talking about the site where your gravity meter is, wherever on the ground you put it down, that's what we're talking about. No, bro, this is you trying to move the goalposts. You're trying to move the goalposts because we're not talking about a car. We're not talking about a car.
I thought you said you cooperate with the rules, right?
We are not talking about a car.
We are talking about helium balloons. You brought up helium balloons.
No, we're not. We're talking about, helium balloons are in this equation, but that's not the main factor. See, you like to get sidetracked on the little details, stay in the big conversation. The little one. So, the conversation is, I'm going to give you, alright, so focus on this. See that you can focus. Alright, so focus on this. We are outside with this gravity machine, it is pulling down towards the ground. You know what I'm talking about, This gravity machine is pulling down, Okay, so your gravity machine is accelerated down,
The particles inside are accelerating.
Okay, so now we're talking about particles. So this is where it gets the thing. He didn't say nothing about particles.
Why do you think falls? It's particles. They said that in the thing.
He didn't say nothing about particles.
Well, then you read a bad definition of it.
No, but you accepted the definition I read.
I didn't. I never agreed with it.
Okay, so you agreed with it, but now you don't agree with it. Come on, Donald.
Stop saying that you're
So
misrepresenting.
when I read it, why didn't you say you don't agree with what I just read? I'm misrepresenting a machine.
Because I think
that's what someone would have done, right? If I was misrepresenting it.
Let me answer. So I didn't hear all of the definition that you read.
Okay, so we're just gonna lie now. That's okay. So now we're talking about particles, It's a whole different story.
Something has to accelerate the story. An instrument for measuring the difference in the force of gravity from one place to another. That's a very limited definition. So
now we're talking about particles. What particles are we talking about?
What is wrong with you?
What particles are we using?
We need to get the industry definition. We need to get the industry definition of the accelerometer. So, the gravimeter. The gravimeter is a sensitive device for measuring variations in the Earth's gravity field, useful in prospecting for oil and minerals. In one form, it consists of. Come on.
He was just reading, not nice to open.
So. In one form, it consists of a weight suspended from a spring. Variations in gravity cause variations in the extension of the spring. So there are a couple ways of doing it. You can do it with spring, or you can do it with falling thing. So, let me see if it'll open this time. Oh, there you go. So let's just read the rest of it. So, let's see here.
Well, why are you looking at him?
No, I got it. Okay. Go ahead. Let me read this one thing, then we get to the craziness. A number of different mechanical and optical to the brother.
His brother is one part in 10 million.
A doctor! Yes, doctor! Welcome back.
I don't know what is one part in 10 million. What does that mean?
It means that for every 10 million, parts, there is one that they detect. So it is a decimal point with 9 zeros behind it, and then a 1. And that's how accurate it is.
So how do they know that there's 10 million if they're only detecting one?
Because they're not.
Yeah, but if they can't measure or detect the other 10 million, and they can only detect one.
No, that's not what they're saying. So this is what's called the sigma measurement.
That's what you just said.
No, that's not all I said. You misrepresented. So
what did you just say, though? Can you re-say what you just said?
I'm trying to explain it to you right now. As you're interrupting me, I'm trying to explain it to you. So a sigma is a degree of certainty. Now, each sigma is a decimal point past, or is a 0 past the decimal point. So if it's like 5 sigma, that would be 0.0000, and then the number that is before the exponent. Let's go with 1 since it's easiest, so it'd be a 1. Now, a 10 million sigma would be a decimal point with 0.000000001, and that's how accurate it is. That's basically a measurement.
It sounds like a bunch of waffle to me.
Well, I don't care if you understand it or not. It actually works. We find oil.
Sounds like you don't even understand what you're talking about.
Stop.
No, you stop.
You're interrupting for no reason. You're interrupting for no reason.
You're interrupting me. You're interrupting me.
No, I didn't. I was in the middle of talking.
You wasn't. Behave yourself now. Remember the ground rules.
Yes, you're interrupting for no reason.
Conversation.
You're interrupting for no reason. Yeah, you're interrupting for stop.
Listen. Chill out. Smoke the cigarette. Smoke the cigarette. Calm down. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a 5-minute break. We're gonna take a 5-second break. Yeah?
I'm not gonna
calm down. We're gonna loose up. And then we're gonna find break.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so is there anybody else in the audience who wants to have a conversation with me? Because that one was kind of pointless.
Alright, now we're back. Yeah? So we're gonna get back to the gravity conversation. Stop running. That's what we like to do.
I'm not running.
You
just are
not polite to not close up on a conversation. You don't give us closure. I want my closure.
Dude,
yeah?
You're interrupting for no reason.
You ain't having this relationship and you leaving without giving me my closure. Hell no.
Why are you interrupting for no reason? You said you would not do that. So what would you like to talk about gravity? What would you like to talk about gravity?
Alright, so we're going to talk about the anomaly of cap within your bullshit theory of gravity. Cap, C-A-P, sombrero hat. Yeah?
I don't understand what you're
talking about. Bullshit.
No bullshit. I have no idea what gravity has to do with the sombrero.
Yeah, so the bullshit within your theory, the theory that's never been proven. Yeah, it's never been proven.
All theories have been.
You hold on to this. You hold on to this straw man of gravity. Yeah.
You're the one who's strumming in gravity.
No one can isolate to actually prove exists. You stand on this curvature of space-time, and you talk about a fabric that can be detected by a gravity machine.
I didn't say fabric. I said I don't like that word. Fabric is a bad way to describe it.
Listen, we recorded this right now, yeah. And when you listen to your recording, you're gonna hear you agreeing to the term fabric and then disagreeing now.
Immediately after. Oh my God, dude!
You say some repugnant stuff. You know that. Like, you don't even know the difference to yourself.
What are you doing?
No, bro, I'm not. I'm telling you, you're repugnant when it comes to the conversation.
That's insulting.
No, you're distasteful, man. It's okay. It's okay. I don't need this.
No, it's not okay. You're insulting me.
Are we running away again?
I'm not running away. You are
insulting me. Okay.
You are insulting me. Why are you insulting?
Let's prove gravity doesn't
How are we
exist.
talking about why you're insulting?
Yeah.
Why did you insult?
Let's not run away from the conversation. You're an expert at running. You should have been in track and field.
This is why did you insult? This is the conversation. Now you insulted me.
No. We don't change conversation. See, we have ground rules. It's okay. You can shout and get upset and scream. You stop. Yeah, you just need to restart. Take a puff on the cigarette. Chill out. We're getting to gravity. Yeah? We don't care about the feelings.
Jesus Christ.
We don't care about your feelings.
Ren, you insulted me. Why did you insult me?
I don't care about your feelings of insult.
I don't feel insulted.
You're talking about gravity. You do feel insulted. That's why you want to talk about being insulted.
No, you did insult me. You put words at me that were intended to cause harm. That's an insult.
What, repugnant? Are you
That's insulting. You're being insulting. Why?
Well, your belligerence is insulting to me. So
you're the one that's being belligerent. You're the one that's being belligerent.
No, you've been belligerent because you did not find a moment in this recording that you are doing right now where I have talked.
You won't shut your mouth for 5 seconds. It's absolutely.
You won't find nowhere where I tell you to shut up. You will. Where I get out of pocket, because I don't get out of pocket. I know how to control my emotions, unlike some people. So you're such an easy mark to wind up on. You get it? I'm miles and miles away from you, and I can push your buttons with ease. 2024. This is the new cattle. Please notice it, people. Don't become one of these. Yeah? He doesn't know me from anywhere, and I can wind him up. I can make him scream and shout within his own home.
Who's talking?
And he runs away from the conversation. Like coffee, he left you with no closure, and I feel
I didn't do that. I didn't do any of that. You're lying. You're misrepresenting. You're lying about me. Don't worry about it. You got so confused that you couldn't even follow the conversation anymore, so you started insulting me, and that means you would. You just would.
Okay, Mr. 1 in 10 million figures. Figures 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Come on, it's alright.
What are you doing tonight? Saturday night? Anyone know a song with the lyrics called Saturday Night?
Anyone know why gravity don't exist?
Well, there's a couple of songs. By the way, Donald and I are going to have a good time because we're opening a new topic in about 5 minutes. And we want to know, what is the evidence that you have for God?
Well, how about what is the evidence you have for no God? How about that? That would be a good room. Where's your evidence?
Okay, well, the scriptures are garbage. They tell us nothing about why we're here.
Have you read the Bible?
And loved ones are. Yeah, honestly, yes. I'll be honest.
Well, you read it from page to page, cover to cover.
No. Donald, could you explain to me?
Oh, so you haven't read it in full entirety, but it's garbage. See, people like you are just ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, if this was Harry Potter, I would have to hit you with the ridiculous.
Okay, ask me.
Yeah, Donald's already been hit with a stupefied.
What is he, drunk?
No, I'm not drunk at all.
Ask me anything. Oh my God, what a tough audience. Ask me anything about the Bible. So as far as they say, peer-reviewed scientists.
I'll ask you anything about the Bible when you can answer it. Is that what you would say?
I get disproved by bars.
Who is this person that keeps talking? He's drunk.
I said, ask you anything about the Bible. What was your statement? You kept saying, anything.
There has never been any scientific evidence for the existence of God or any deity. In all these studies that we have, the supernatural manifestations itself.
We can disprove the spirit too.
So what is a firmament?
I hate that.
Joanna, what is the firmament?
Well, are you flat earther?
What? I'm talking to Joanna, Donald. Have some manners. Let me and the woman have a cordial conversation because we surely can't. Yeah? You just sit on my and see how the grown folks talk. Okay. Once the children have stopped giggling. Joanna, so yeah, the firmament. Let's
In Hebrew, are you a flat earther?
Oh, you want to talk about the Rakia? Okay, we can talk about.
Go to the Hebrew. And yeah, go ahead. Oh my God. If you read the creation story in Hebrew, it is Hasamayim. And what do you think the firmament is? Do you think it has water above and water below?
Yeah.
I agree.
There's no water in space. Well, I mean, there's a little bit of water, but it's not like.
If you agree that the firmament is there and that the firmament holds water above and water below, how is the Bible bullshit?
What it says
What's it tell?
It is a dome created by God in the creation story narrative to divide the primal state, the upper and lower portions of land. And this is the firmament or the Hasamayim, which means heavens. Or Mayim, which means water. Water is Mayim, Donald. Hasamayim means the heavens.
And what does Rakia mean?
Sorry?
What does Rakia?
That means firmament.
Okay, and what does it mean to Rakah?
I don't know.
Rakah means to pound, to beat out. Yeah? So now we're talking about something that is getting pounded or beaten out where the Most High Himself put this physical barrier that you seem to give acknowledgement to, yeah? Because you did say that you believe there are waters above and waters below.
Yeah.
So the Bible, which tells us about this on the first page, is just whether you're smart enough to put the words together and understand what is being said.
I've read the Bible 3 times. I understand.
So, Donald, chill out, man. Grown folks is talking. So, when the Bible says this, how do you stand on the term that the Bible is bullshit and Scripture is a lie?
Such a fucking.
Okay, because I'm an astrotheologist, so I believe in the